Yo, Old School has been out for 4 years. That is crazy. That is unreal. 4 years since the release of Old School, and Party Pete is throwing a birthday bash of epic proportions at the Fowler Party Room. If you guys go, there's like a little event there you can do. Happy birthday to Old School. It's sort of crazy when you think about it. For those of you guys who were like there when the poll was out for Old School to be released, you like guys remember the hype around that. I mean, everybody was making videos on how to make multiple accounts to vote. There was the hype that everybody didn't even think it was going to get close to like 10,000 votes. It ended up getting like hundreds of thousands. It's just crazy that it's been 4 years now. It's pretty unreal. So anyways, today, like I said, is the 4-year birthday event of Old School. But along with that were quite a bit of updates that came out with it. First off, some new items were added into the game. If you complete the event, you get the cow outfit, worship, and the gnome child hat, which I believe were already in there in the game. Not 100% sure. But it does say that here that there are 2 brand new rewards, the balloons, which look pretty cool, and a 4th birthday hat. So all you have to do is go finish the birthday event that's live in Valley at the moment. The next one is what people are saying is the biggest update of the day, and that's that 12 new worlds have been added to Old School. So since we've grown a lot over the past 4 years, there are more Old School players than ever before. To celebrate this, we're going to give you a little bit more room. We've added 12 new worlds. Now, I believe that they are all US West Coast worlds. 12 new US West Coast worlds that I believe mean that the best ping can now be achieved by Australian players by going to these West Coast worlds. I've seen some tweets. Some people have messaged me. They're saying that these new worlds are the best ping for Australian players. So even though they aren't Australian worlds, it's a semi-upgrade. It's like a 0.5 update to Australian worlds. We're getting there. We're not there yet. Just under the post, they have, due to existing infrastructure we have hosting Old School worlds in North America, it's a much simpler task for us to add NA worlds than for us to expand into Australia. So they're still working towards Australian worlds, but at the moment, they can't perform it right away. But things are looking up for Australians at the moment. So congrats to those down under. Along with the new worlds and the 4-year event, we have the PVM quality of life improvements updates. So basically, a couple weeks ago, there was a poll, 10 PVM quality of life updates, and 9 of those 10 updates passed and can now be found in the game. So there's actually some, I don't want to say like they're crazy big ones, but there is, I think, one big one that may result in some price changing of some items. Anyways, we have safe peeking for Caliphite Queen and Dagonoth Kings, which means that you can now check if people are in the lair without getting attacked by the annoying things, which is very annoying. There's also now a Slayer version of the Dagonoth Kings, which means that you can access a separate version of the lair if you're on a Slayer task, I believe. Within this version of the lair, you will only be able to attack the Dagonoth Kings while you're on a Dagonoth or Dagonoth Kings Slayer task. There are no restrictions when you enter the lair, and in case you want to return to pick up items after death. So pretty cool. I think that's a long time overdue. People have been wanting it for a while, and it's finally in the game. So the Corp Cave has also been strung. Now, this one's going to be a little bit weird because I always remember teleporting to Corp Cave and just being in a massive lair, like just of nothingness, of like this weird grayish brownish color. Now, it's a very tiny little room, and the Corp Cave is right next to where you teleport in. A little bit weird, like I said. I'm so used to the other one, but I'm going to check it out. People are saying it's a bit too small. People said they liked it to be a little bit big, to make room for the people who are doing Corp, and then also people who are teleporting there to leave into the wilderness. So we'll see. It looks a little bit funny, but people voted for it, so we'll see what happens with that. Now, the other huge one, I think, is the Elysian Spirit Shield has been improved. It's been updated. As you guys know, it has been dropping in price. I think it was under like 450 mil at one point, and it used to be on the 800, 900 mil on the Grand Exchange. But now, the special effect of the Elysian Spirit Shield now applies to the following attacks that deal damage through protection prayers. So all of these bosses here will now have some of their attacks negated by the Elysian Spirit Shield. For you guys who don't know what the Elysian Spirit Shield or Elysian, I don't even know how it's pronounced, really don't know. If you guys aren't unaware of what the effect is, basically when you wear it, there's a 70% chance that you take reduced damage by 25%. It's one of the best shields in the game for tanking bosses, which is of course why it's so popular and why it's so expensive. But with this update, it actually adds even more bosses to that list of who's affected by the Elysian Spirit Shield effect. So there's some big ones in there, especially Zulrah. I'm not sure if Elysian will be used for Zulrah now, obviously, but let me know what you guys think of the whole Elysian Spirit Shield effect, because I've never used it before personally, so I don't really know what it's good against. I know it's good against, but I'm not really sure with these new bosses what it would be good against, and if you would even use the Elysian against any of these new updated bosses, like Zulrah, for example. Will people stop using Arcane and start using Elysian? I need you guys to help me out with that, because I'm not 100% sure and I don't want to give people false information. So comments is all up to you. The other smaller ones that were added, well, not really necessarily smaller ones, but ones that didn't get their own pictures, I guess. The Spectral Spirit Shield now reduces prayer drain by 50% on all prayer draining attacks outside of PvP. So Spectral may go up now as well. Spirit Shields all may go up in price and everything. The Arcane's actually above 100 mil ever since raids came out, so pretty expensive. Dark Relic in raids is now usable for any skill, providing experience equal to 150 times your level for skills used in raids. Slayer Masters now offer to convince Mythril Dragons to drop their bars in noted form when on a Slayer assignment, cost 200 points. Trident of the Seas and Toxic variants can now be uncharged without unequipping the item, just a quality of life thing, pretty useful. And the King Black Dragon respawn timer is now 10 seconds. So it's sort of like the Giant Mole update that was a couple months ago. The Giant Mole used to have a really long respawn time. Now the KBD has the exact same thing, so you don't have to necessarily hop worlds if you want faster kills. You can just stay there and kill it even faster, which is pretty nice. The Redwoods had a tree overhaul, which means that the accessibility and appearance of the Redwood trees now has been drastically improved. It looks a lot better. Like you can see it from this picture. I think they used to be just like one solid color before, but now they look like they're actually massive, massive trees in the game. And I think this was originally from a Reddit post, if I remember correctly. I'm not 100% sure, but I think a Reddit post is where the JMods got this idea from. I'm sure it wasn't that hard of an update to implement. They just changed the graphics of it. Looks pretty cool. So for you guys who chop Redwoods, you now can look at something a bit more unique. And finally, in other news, we have a couple of smaller things. I think the best one here is that a warning message is now provided when you try to bury a bone inside a player-owned house. So for those of you guys who do prayer, you'll know that sometimes you accidentally bury a bone when you're in front of the altar, which is a bit annoying. That's now changed. And then also we have another one, an unnecessarily delay from after checking the health from fruit trees has been removed, which apparently some people really wanted. Didn't really ever notice it, but pretty big, I guess. And then the Ice Demon in Chambers of Xerax or raids has been adjusted for larger parties. Apparently it was like impossible to kill the Ice Demon before if you were in huge parties. So a little bit annoying. But anyways, guys, that's it for the updates. I think it's really cool how, at least with the 4-year birthday event, they updated it with some pretty big updates, even though it's pretty convenient that they it was just all PVM quality of life, which they pulled a couple weeks ago. But pretty cool stuff. Anyways, guys, that's it for today's video. Apologies for the delay on videos the past week. It's just been insanely busy with school at the moment. I got midterms coming up. I have to worry about graduation forms to fill out, and just apologies for that. But I'm sticking with my promise that I gotta focus on school before I do videos and streams and all that stuff full time. So anyways, guys, thank you all for watching. Happy 4-year anniversary. Thank you guys all for watching my channel for 4 years now. Can't believe it. I've been around since then. So thank you guys again, and hope to see you next time. Have a good one, and peace.
Wow.